tonight, we expose the desperation of Donald J. Trump, a man once cloaked in arrogance, now reduced to begging Marjorie Taylor Greene, Lauren Boebert, and Nancy Mace to shield him from the tidal wave of the Epstein scandal. The story begins with a political shift. In September, Democrats scored a series of special election victories, flipping key seats and altering the balance of power in the House of Representatives. With every Democrat united and just a few Republicans willing to break ranks, the numbers finally aligned to force a discharge petition, one that would compel a full-floor vote on releasing the Jeffrey Epstein files that have been locked away for decades, files that survivors of Epstein's abuse have demanded be released. Files that could name names, implicate powerful figures, and shatter the careers and reputations of those who thought they were untouchable. But there is one enormous obstacle. The success of that petition depends on 3 Republicans who have ironically been Trump's most loyal megaphones: Marjorie Taylor Greene, Lauren Boebert, and Nancy Mace. For months, these 3 women have been vocal about releasing the Epstein files, shouting to their voters that transparency and accountability are essential.
For these girls. I mean, I speak to them frequently. I'm on text chains with a lot of the survivors. I keep calling them girls, but they're women. They're my age. They're your age. And they tell me, they're fed up, and they're talking about doing opposition research on these members and shaming them and showing their ties to Jeffrey Epstein, because everybody has a tie to Jeffrey Epstein. I can tell you that. And I've got some reporting coming out to show that, what a deciding vote, the kind of ties that this, senator had to Jeffrey Epstein on deciding not to release these files. And you know who's looking into all of that? It's the survivors. They're sitting around and they are angry, and they are lobbying, and they are calling, and they are trying to figure out how to make the door to justice open, even if they have to break it down.
Yet now reports confirm that the White House is leaning on them with threats and promises, trying to drag them back into Trump's shadow. CNN and other outlets report that Trump's orbit, possibly Stephen Miller, Susie Wiles, or even Trump himself, is applying direct pressure. The demand is simple: withdraw your support. Don't let the Democrats succeed. Don't let these files see daylight. Protect me. Save me. Do this one last thing for me. This is not the language of strength. This is the language of panic. A former president who once demanded loyalty from everyone around him, now reduced to pleading, begging, and pressuring allies to hold back the flood. Trump knows what those files contain. He knows his name has long hovered in the margins of Epstein's world. He knows that his years of proximity to Epstein, captured in photos, public quotes, and reports where Trump once joked about Epstein's taste for younger women, will not vanish if the files are exposed. According to leaks, even the Department of Justice has quietly warned him that his name appears among the Epstein documents. Trump is terrified. Greene herself recently declared publicly, "I am not suicidal," a loaded statement aimed at those who would silence her before she can act. She has also issued warnings to Trump's aides. "You didn't get me elected. I don't work for you. I work for my district." That is a sign of resistance. But resistance is not loyalty. And privately, Trump's people still whisper in her ear, trying to bend her back to his will. The same pressure campaign extends to Boebert and Mace. These women now stand at a crossroads: obey Trump and betray their own promises, or defy him and expose the files. One defection is all it would take to kill the petition. Just one. Trump knows it. That is why he is cornering them. Yet politically it is a trap of his own making. These women have built their brands on loud declarations of loyalty to truth, justice, and transparency. If they fold now, if they suddenly reverse their stance, their constituents will see the betrayal in broad daylight. They will pay the price in their districts next election. The voters will know who caved to Trump's desperation, and if they defy him, then Trump himself becomes the one destroyed. This is the box Trump built for himself. He cannot escape it. Meanwhile, the survivors of Epstein's abuse are not waiting. They are organizing, lobbying, and preparing to act. They have told reporters if Congress fails, if the government continues to hide the truth, they will release names themselves. They are already working on an unofficial dossier, a client list, built from their memories and evidence. They are prepared to name the men who participated, who protected Epstein, who enabled the horror. If those names come out, lawsuits will follow, and discovery in court will force the full release of the Epstein files anyway. That is why Trump fears them. He cannot bully survivors the way he bullies politicians. He cannot bribe them, cannot silence them, cannot buy their loyalty. They have nothing left to lose, and already leaks have begun. The House Oversight Committee has disclosed logs and documents implicating figures like Elon Musk, Steve Bannon, and Peter Thiel. These revelations are only the beginning. The real storm lies in the unopened vault, the full Epstein archive. And Trump knows if it comes out, he is finished. His image, his myth, his empire of lies will collapse. That is why he clings to Green, Boebert, and Mace. They are his last line of defense, the final shields he hopes will absorb the blow for him. But what does it say about a man who once demanded loyalty like a king, now reduced to begging? What does it say about his strength, his courage, his so-called leadership? This is not power. This is cowardice. This is a man exposed, trapped, and terrified. This is Donald Trump at his weakest, the bully begging not to be punched back. The survivors are rising. The votes are aligning. The tide is moving. And Trump, who once pretended to be untouchable, now clings desperately to three women who may or may not save him. Whether they cave or whether they defy him, the truth will out. The files will not stay buried forever. The survivors will not remain silent. And the world will not forget. We are anonymous. We are the voice that power cannot silence. We are the storm they cannot escape. Donald Trump can beg, he can threaten, he can cling to Green, Boebert, and Mace, like a drowning man grasping driftwood. But the tide is rising, and the truth will come out. Do not look away. Do not stay silent. Share this message. Expose the lies. Subscribe, comment, and spread the truth. Together we will ensure that those who hide behind wealth and power cannot bury their crimes. We are anonymous. We do not forgive. We do not forget. Expect us.